So the theme of tonight's discussion is lessons learned in the local startup community. And with that, I wanted to start actually just talking specifically about New York and what you think some of the advantages and disadvantages are of working here. I know at Mashable, Pete, who started the company, is based in Scotland. Myself, I live in a small town in Virginia, and people are always like, wow, really? And we're here in New York City. It's not Silicon Valley, obviously, but it's one of the top tech places in the world. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages? And I thought we'd start with Melanie on that one.
So I've got 3 answers to that question. The first one is primary. My nephew and nieces live near here, so I'd have to live near them as they are the inspiration. Number 2 is that if I'd known that entrepreneurship, startup-ship was as wonderful as it is because of the New York startup community, I would have become an entrepreneur a long time ago. And thirdly, because Savvy Auntie is actually a multi-platform media company. It's not just a .com. And I have meetings with cable networks and different types of partners. There's a long tail sort of vision for Savvy Auntie. So when you live in New York and can take advantage of all the media that's out there, right? Literally, a startup taxi, meaning subway ride away. You're really very fortunate. I don't think that there's any other place where you can have all of that in one place.
Mm-hmm. Scott?
Yeah, I mean, 2 things for us. One is the creative industries are really very, very present in New York, and we like the fact that we can really be close to the fashion district and to the advertising, obviously Madison Avenue, and a lot of the customers that we're focused on are here. The other thing is that whenever I go to Silicon Valley, I kind of feel a little drunk on just what's happening with technology and just the latest trends that are definitely interesting to the visionaries, but not necessarily the pragmatists. And this like kind of drunken sort of thing. And I think in New York you stay a bit more sober with what technology is really having an impact now and is getting traction and what's just really cool but not yet applicable. And when you're thinking about what to execute on in a business, it's helpful to kind of have that soberness here. And then when you want to drink, you just go to Mashable and check it out. But I just think that it's just helpful, though, to have the grounding of New York, where things don't fly, and it's sometimes that are too new that people are ready, and sometimes that's a good thing, I think, for business.
For me personally, I think that New York. I mean, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, and I sort of anywhere else, I sort of need that pulse and the livelihood of New York. And sort of like Scott said, the ability to go out and not talk about tech, and as much as I love it and can talk about it ad nauseum, I think it's a healthy dose of reality to when people sort of say like, no, I don't need to use this thingamabob website. I can just talk to regular people or speak to them on the phone, and I think. One of the neat things also about New York is that, when I sort of started, this whole entrepreneurial gig in 2006, I was part of, and still am part of a group called NextNY, which basically allows anyone. It's basically a Google group that allows anyone to create any event that they want, and it's this community of people that are sort of are helpful in the sense of best practices, but also just knowing that you can find a small niche of people that are, amongst the big silos in New York, they can still, find people that are of like mind and be able to interact with them. And I think that sort of camaraderie that, because it's people like, oh, it's not like the Valley, but there still is this sense of experience and I guess, brotherhood.
I actually think it's easier to find good people to build a team in New York than it would be in Silicon Valley. Now, we have 2 people in San Francisco now, but it's a smaller tech community here. But the people that want to work at a startup and the people that want to work at a tech company in New York have to self-select and be very active and get involved in the community and reach out and come find us or come find some other company that they want to work for. And I think as a result, you get very passionate people coming to look for you. And friends of mine that run startups in Silicon Valley, they're always suffering from really high attrition rates, and someone's poaching their top guy, and it's just a real like backstabbing, kind of greedy industry. And I think you get a lot less of that here because it's smaller, And I don't know, it's a big city, so there's a lot of smart people, and you can find that sliver of people that are smart and hardworking that really want to work for us or the company that they go out and apply to.
And I think personally, I've seen a huge growth in the tech community here in the past 2 years. So, you know, I've only been in it for a couple of years now since we started Snooth, but just over the past little bit of time, I've seen things blow up like Jelly and NextWeb and Next New York and all these great events that are going on, and you can get involved and just start meeting the community and getting out there. We're starting to build it here, and I think there's a lot of interest. And I think before, where it might have been a little bit swept under the rug, probably because there is so much else going on, now it's starting to get a little bit bigger and a little bit more in the spotlight.
The economy is obviously something that affects everyone in the room. One, what's some advice you have for people out there that might be out of work or looking to break into the social media technology space? And two, what are you doing at your company to both kind of contain costs and keep people motivated?
Ice cream? Okay, no, but answer it seriously. No, but I do have ice cream every day. It's true. So in terms of the people who want it, you know, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are laid off. Well, they think it's unfortunate, but let me just tell you that I thought of the idea for Savvy Auntie in between jobs. Well, it shouldn't be in between jobs. I was out of a job, and I started the company of my dreams. So this is going to sound corny. You ready? For me, I always say, have been saying for the last year, that what's interesting about dreams is that they tend to whisper in our ears for fear that someone may squelch them. You know, when you tell somebody, oh, I'm thinking about doing this, and then they always tell you why you shouldn't do it, or they sort of laugh. And so we tend not to listen to ourselves and to our dreams, what we really want to do. Well, when we're out of work and it's a little bit quiet, go take a walk in Central Park and listen to yourself, because you're the only one who can hear it. So, you know, use this as an opportunity to really start the company of your dreams if that's what you're thinking about doing. But if you really feel like you need to get a job right now, you know, talk about your personal brand. What is your strong product? So when I was looking for a job, on my business card, I put a line, my sort of slogan, which was, I'm passionate about building something spectacular from nothing at all. And that had been a career theme for me. So if there's something that you really are that differentiates yourself from everybody else, don't say, you know, I'm a senior level account executive or what, you know, really what makes you different? What is your brand? Put that on your business card. That and your email address and phone number are the most important, I guess your name, are the most important things you can have on a business card. So I really recommend, and if you know, you probably think, well, I don't have a job, I don't have a business card. There are so many ways to get a business card. There are, you know, applications now where you don't even actually need to print anything. So really, make sure that you have identification that you can leave behind that shows your theme. And if you really think that now is the time to make your dream come true, please go ahead and do it.
And just to pick up on that, the risk of taking an unconventional path, sometimes required to make a dream come true, is very low now. And I'm just amazed by how friends of mine who are in the consulting world or banking world or more kind of safer, conventional industries are now really considering, you know, I don't know what the upside is in the next couple of years. I might as well just go out and try whatever it is. And I just think that's probably one of the best things for our economy right now. And also as a startup, it's great to engage people who are in those positions who would never have normally left their jobs and now thinking, well, you know, what's there to lose? I might as well do something really interesting for a couple of years and get a great experience, or maybe a lot more upside. So I think that's one thing. And the second thing is these personal projects. We've just found so many people who just started their career not based on something they were doing professionally, but personally. And having the time capacity to invest in a personal project, whether it be a blog or a directory or any type of thing that you've always wanted to assemble that you could do on your own with very little resource, now is a great time, because I mean, I think that serves as a differentiation for people if it's a job later on, or if it's anyone investing in you at some point or wanting to work with you or for you. I think that those personal projects can really make you stand out. Now is a great time, I think, to invest in doing some of those as well.